श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुदेवाय नमः। जगदीश्वर परमेश्वर जगदीश्वर परमेश्वर सर्वेश्वर नागेश्वर सर्वेश्वर नागेश्वर जगदीश्वर परमेश्वर जगदीश्वर परमेश्वर हृदयेश्वर गौरीश्वर हृदयेश्वर गौरीश्वर मंत्रेश्वर गिरीश्वर मंत्रेश्वर गिरीश्वर भावेश्वर नंदीश्वर भावेश्वर नंदीश्वर जगदीश्वर परमेश्वर जगदीश्वर परमेश्वर सर्वेश्वर नागेश्वर सर्वेश्वर नागेश्वर जगदीश्वर परमेश्वर जगदीश्वर परमेश्वर 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 करुणानिधान प्रभु श्री राम। करुणानिधान प्रभु राम। सीता वल्लभ हनुमत सेवित, सीता वल्लभ हनुमत सेवित, भरत प्राण हरि प्रिय रघुराम। भरत प्राण हरि प्रिय रघुराम। करुणा निधान प्रभु श्री राम। करुणा निधान प्रभु श्री राम। दशरथ नंदन संत जन रंजन, दशरथ नंदन संत जन रंजन, माया प्रेरक मुक्ति प्रदायक, माया प्रेरक मुक्ति प्रदायक, करुणा निधान प्रभु श्री राम। करुणा निधान प्रभु श्री राम। जय राम जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय सिया राम। जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय सिया राम। जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय सिया राम। जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय सिया राम। जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय सिया राम। जय जय राम, जय सिया राम। जय जय राम, जय सिया राम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। वर्णानाम अर्थ संघानाम रसानाम छंदसामपि मंगलानाम च कर्तारो वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम् नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यद् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसीरघुनाथ गाथा भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति हरि ओम. Very special Hari Om and welcome to all of you who are listening from whichever city you are in now. I know people are listening from here in Trinidad as well. Let us chant from after number 13, where we started last night, and then we'll come to our present Chaupai, where we stopped. So there's still a lot to be said about Bhagwan's reply to Lakshmana. जब ते राम की नतः बासा सुखी भये मुनि त्रासा गिरि बन नदी ताल छवि छाए दिन दिन प्रतीत हो ही सुहाए खग मृग वृंद आनंदित रही मधुप मधुर गुंजत छवि लहही सोबन बरनी न सख अहि राजा जहाँ प्रगत रघुबीर बिराजा एक बार प्रभु सुख आसीना लक्ष्मण वचन कहे छलहीना सुर नर मुनि सचराचर साई मैं पूछूं निज प्रभु की नाई वही समझाई कहो सोई देवा सब तज करो चरण रज सेवा कहु ज्ञान विराग अरु माया। कहु सो भगति करहु जेई दाया। ईश्वर जीव भेद प्रभु। सकल कहाँ समझाई श्री राम। जाते होय चरण रति। शोक मोह भ्रम जाई श्री राम। थोरे ही महा सब कहूँ बुझाई। सुनहु तात मति मन चित लाई। मैं अरु मोर तोर तै माया। जय बस कीने जीवन काया। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे राम। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। मैं रुमोर तोर तय माया. This is where we left it last night, huh? So Maya is discussed variously in our scriptures everywhere. Some people say Bhagwan Shankaracharya made up Maya. That is not true. Bhagwan Shankaracharya wrote commentary on Maya. Maya is there in Bhagavad Gita. Maya is there everywhere. And what is this Maya? If you want to find out a definition for Maya, simply you say, in English language we say, last night I told you Bhagwan Shankaracharya's Vivek Chudamani. Yeah? Maya matrabidam dvaitam advaitam paramarthataha. I don't know what number. In Vivek Chudamani, you please go and see that. Some long number, big number, like 400 something maybe. Anyway, so This Maya, for an ordinary person, we say Maya is this world of illusion. Okay, let's just start with simple things like that. Illusion means what? It means the way you see a thing, that thing is not like that. That is called an illusion. In other words, over there you see water on the highway when you are driving, right? When you are driving on a hot day in America, especially, you see quite often. On a hot day, way ahead of you there on the highway, you see water. But that is an illusion. In other words, what you see is really not as you see it. It's illusory. Now, as we are on that topic, let me just tell you small little distinction there between two other words, or with one other word. See, when we are driving down the highway and we see water over there, if I think really there is water over there, that is called delusion. So there is the appearance of an illusion, and if I take that illusion to be real, then that is called as delusion. This is the difference between delusion and illusion. So that illusion is called as abhasa rupa. Abhasa means an appearance. It appears like that, right? And delusion is called as moha. Moha. Well, another meaning of the word moha is maya. Moha, maya, these two words come together quite often in the Hindi language, many Indian languages and all. Moha, maya means to say, moha is another translation for maya. It's a delusion. Means there is the appearance over there of water, of something illusory, or illusory snake on a rope. There is the appearance of something. Okay. But if I know it is not as it appears, then I am free from delusion. If I take it to be as it appears, yes, there is water there, yes, there is a snake there, then I am deluded. So now, this Maya actually is the cause for both. Maya is the cause for the illusion, and Maya is the cause for the delusion also. Me taking it to be real. Now here, how he introduces this Maya, he says, Goswami Tulsidas, he says, Mayaru mor tortai Maya. So Maya is now taken here as duality. Just like Bhagavan Shankaracharya in Vivek Chudamani, Maya matramidam dvaitam. It is the very nature of dvaita, means duality. So here, me and mine, you and yours. Now, why is that an illusion? Well, that is a very simple thing. That is an illusion because there is no disconnect between me and you. We are intimately connected to each other. We are connected to every single thing in this universe. That is the idea. So the appearance of separateness, the appearance of diversity, which is unconnected, that appearance, if I take it to be real, then I am deluded. And actually, that is why he said all of us are in this delusion, moha maya. Because all of us take it to be real. I take myself to be separate from you, you take yourself to be separate from that one, and we separated from everything. And that is what causes so many problems for human beings. I'm separate from the nature, separate from the environment, separate from the forest, separate from the rivers. They are not part of me. I can, cut down the forest, and I can pollute the rivers and pollute the air and dig up the earth and take out all the minerals and take out everything and ravage everything because they are not me. You never cut off your toe because you think it is me. You see? So there is an appearance of separateness, and the one who takes that appearance, that separateness to be real, he is deluded. And that appearance of separateness is caused by Maya. And the taking it to be real is also caused by Maya, Moha. It's a tremendous idea. You will not find this idea anywhere in any scriptural tradition of the world. Our Puja Gurudev used to say is the most intellectually satisfying idea you will ever come across. And it explains so many countless things. If Maya is not there, then we try to explain things in this world, you will be faced with countless contradictions in your explanation. Maya explains everything very nicely. Another way to see this Maya, it is the inherent power in the reality which makes the reality appear diverse. Avibhaktam vibhakteshu vibhaktam eva cha sthitam. In the 13th chapter, this Ram Gita of this Aranyakand is very much aligned to the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We'll see just now again. Chapter 13, where the oneness of the universe is spoken about. Oneness of all things. So, it is the inherent power in the reality which makes that one reality appear as many. First of all, diverse things. That Eka Vastu appears as Aneka Vastu. One thing appears as many things. But see the word is very, very important. Appears as. An appearance is never a real thing. So you think. I exist? Yes. You exist? Yes. Between us there is space. The space exists? Yes. So now see. Between any two objects in the world, one object is there, one object is there. And between the two objects there is space. So the first object 1 exists, object 2 exists. And the space also exists. So what? There is an unbroken connection of existence or not? But there is. It is just that here existence has taken on Nama Rupa of me. And there existence has taken on Nama Rupa of you. And in between, existence has taken on Nama Rupa of space. But it's the same one existence. This oneness is overlooked. This oneness is not seen, is not understood. This oneness is not known to the individual. And what he sees, a separate being here and a separate being there, unconnected. That thing is called as delusion. So he is deluded when he takes the illusion to be real. So the Maya is the cause for both of them. And what is it? That inherent power in the reality which causes the reality to appear as fragmented, when in fact and in truth it is not fragmented. That inherent power by which the reality takes on Anekanam Rupa. Abdau Phenadivat Sarvanam Nama Rupa Prasarana, the scriptures say. This is like the waves in the ocean. See, every wave is made up of only one thing, H2O. It may appear that there are numerous waves and numerous, swells and tides and low tide, high tide and froth and bubble and so many things in the ocean. But really there is only H2O in the ocean. Water. So really it may appear that this trees and a house and, seas and skies and so many things in this world, human beings and animals and plants, so many Nama Rupa, but really there is only one thing. And that one thing really at the highest level has no name, no form, nothing. But it has an inherent power to take name and form. That inherent power is what we are talking about. That inherent power is called as Maya. And that inherent power now appears as me and you. It makes its own self appear here as me, appear there as you, and then all the other objects in this world. So they have me aru more, me and mine. Te tor, you and yours. Now next line also very important. But the next line says, Meru murturte maya. Jehi basakin he jivanikaya. This is which has all the jivas in the world under bondage. All jivas are bound by this maya. In other words, when you get up tomorrow, you never feel a oneness with your environment. You never feel a oneness with all other jivas, a oneness with all beings, a oneness with the sky or the most distant star. We don't feel a oneness with that. What we feel? I am a limited being. I am not connected to any of those. I am limited, finite, and also I am beset with numerous afflictions, all sorts of problems, all sorts of indescribable kleshas. That is a human being. When I wake up today, I think, oh, I have to go to work and get some work done quickly. So I have to come back because I have to come back. The yajna is going on, I have to be there. And because we have 2-hour time difference, Swamiji will start there 8:30, but for me it's 6:30, You're thinking in your mind, it's 6:30 and I have to get back. I reach home at 7:30, but now I have to rush. That itself becomes klesha. So, the human being feels himself to be finite, feels himself to be incomplete, feels himself to be beset with so many kleshas, means afflictions, different types of worries and trouble, problems, this, that, and unconnected, lonely. So many people have loneliness, I don't know what is this thing called loneliness. It is very difficult for a Swami to know what is loneliness. But people complain about all of these things. I'm so lonely. And nowadays people go, I'm so bored. In COVID time, bored and all. All sorts of complaints. Kleshas, afflictions of all types. Some people are repressed and some people are depressed. Some people are compressed. All sorts of Hare Rama. Anyway, so this Maya, because it makes this person feel separate, and separate immediately also includes finite. Finite necessarily means that he is powerless, because everything about him is finite now. My capabilities, my power, my knowledge, everything is finite. Less. And that also means incomplete. So he always has this great big desire to become complete. I am so incomplete, I have to become complete. And more confusion comes when he thinks, now I have to become complete. How more confusion? Because some people think, when I get enough money, I will become complete. Other things, when I get enough knowledge, I will become complete. Another one thinks, when I get married, I will become complete. Another person thinks, when I lift some weight and I build my body and I become like a, what is that? A Pelwan. Become like a Pelwan. Pelwan means wrestler. Then I will become complete. So everybody has his own definition of completion or completeness, and he strives to try to complete himself by that thing. And then what happens? He never becomes complete. You think anybody will become complete by any one of those things? No. That is why there is the proposal and there is the teaching of mukti in our Shastras. Because there is nothing in this world which could make anybody complete. You see, when he thinks that thing will make him complete, then he develops for that attachment and desire, and he runs after that, and then even if the desire is fulfilled, one more trouble after trouble comes, one after the next, and he never becomes complete. You see, whatever thing, you just think about your own life. Whatever thing in your life you were so desirous of, and you pursued that with so much of vehemence for so many years, and you got it. Now what? You complete? No. They not become fulfilled and complete, and my life is... Then you realize life has its own challenges as age comes, and later on, at 20 you have this type of challenges, at 30 you have that type of challenges, at 50 other types of challenges, at 60 different types of challenges. You don't have those of 20 anymore, but now you have at 60. And then it goes on, and then completion is what? Never there. Fulfillment, completion, this. No. So this Maya has everybody under its grip with this. And why is that? This feeling of duality. And duality means immediately I am not complete, right? I am finite. You are there and I am here. Where I am, you are not. And where you are, I am not. So this duality is tied to all of these things. What? Finitude, apurnatvam, unfulfilled, incomplete, finite. Like that. Huh? I have birth and death, all of these things, we think. So one after the next. So Jahibasa Keen hai Jiva Nikaya. All these jivas, all jivas are under the grip of this delusion caused by Maya. But that the separateness is real, that my finitude is real, that birth is real, death is real, all of the things are real. The Maya has everybody under its grip like this. So it is this Maya, inherent power of the absolute reality of Brahman, which is responsible for Brahman appearing as many. Like for example, I'll just give you a simple example. Example is not to be taken literally, some point is there. Yesterday I saw, today I shared it also with some people, a video. One man, I don't know, somewhere in Africa or something, he is in front of the screen there, and with his voice, he can imitate any animal. You think he's a one-man zoo? He was making sound of every animal. So now, this man has an inherent capacity, power, capability of manifesting any sound from his voice. So that thing, now, he was imitating a donkey. I can try, but I will not be as good as that person. But he was imitating a donkey. Then after that, he finished, he imitated a dog. Then he finished, he imitated a cow. Then he finished, he imitated a horse. Then like that, he went on imitating all various types of animals and all, right? Now, is he any of those animals? No. With an inherent power, inherent capability, he is able to manifest the sound of any one of them. But he is not any one of them. He is different. He is a man. He is not a donkey. A human being. You see? In the very same way, the reality, with its inherent power, can manifest as Nama Rupa. Such a nice verse in our Drig Drishya Vivek, you go and see there. Srishtir Nama Brahma Rupe Satchidananda Vastuni Abdhau Pena Divat Sarvam Nama Rupa Sarva Nama Rupa Prasarana. It says, what is this whole Srishti really? This whole manifested universe is really what? It's Srishtir Nama Brahma Rupe, in the absolute reality, Satchidananda Vastuni, in that Satchidananda thing, that reality, just like waves in an ocean, here in this reality, all Nama Rupa only. Names and forms. Me, you, me, and more, me and mine, you and yours, names and forms only. And space and air, and all these are names and forms only. And countless and infinite. Go on infinitely. Right? So, that reality having this inherent power, when it manifests in this, as this name and form, all the various names and forms, so now one name and form gets attached to another name and form. So the Maya has this inherent power, now has the capacity to have this jiva bound. Well, he is now attached to this. After, Balastavat krida saktaha. Tarunastavat Taruni sakta. Now he's attached to this, later on attached to that. Vriddhasthavat chinta saktaha. Later on attached to some other thing. And he just goes on from one attachment to the next. Really, he never grows up. That is why our Kathopanishad call all of us Bala. We are all children only. We never grow up. Because you just shift your attachment from this thing to that thing. So we never grow up. Because Maya has us under that grip. Now that brave, Dhira Purusha, who is able to wrench himself out of that Maya and realize his true oneness with the Absolute beyond Nama, Rupa. He is called as the wise, great, powerful being, So, that is going to come up just now in our Gyan portion. But here, this is this Maya which has all jivas under its grip. Then, he continues. It's very interesting, I'll tell you. After Maya, Bhagavan Sri Ram will answer Lakshmana's question, what is Gyan? Kahu Gyan, Virag, Aru Maya. Right? Gyan, Virag, Maya. Gyan, Vairagya and Maya. So out of these first three, Bhagavan jumps to number 3 and answers that Maya. And here, in my Ramcharitamanas in front of me, I am seeing 3 entire chaupais dedicated to Maya. 3 chaupais dedicated to what is this Maya. And then in the next chaupai, the 4th one, in one chaupai, he will finish Gyan and Vairagya in one chaupai. Both the topics. That means what? If Bhagavan is discussing Maya first, in the first instance, he takes out Maya and treats it first. Then with that too, 3 whole chaupais. A chaupai has 4 quarters. 12 quarters. And the next chaupai which is coming, 2 quarters for Gyan and 2 quarters for Vairagya. In other words, Bhagavan means to say, if we really study this Maya and study how I am bound, how I am attached to things, how I take an illusion to be real and therefore I am deluded, if I study all of these things, well, it is like a person who has his hand on a lighting stove. He has his finger on the lighting stove, right? Thank God Bhagavan gave us something called some reflex action. So when it burns me quickly, I pull. If we had to think for everything, because we are so bad at thinking, we would have, oh, now I feel heat. And that heat seems to be more than 100 degrees Celsius, And I know by simple laws that 100 degrees Celsius, if my hand is exposed to it, my hand will get scorched and it will form a blister and it will start paining. And if I had to think through all of these things, human beings are so bad at thinking, we would have been in real big trouble. So Bhagavan gave a reflection. But for many things, we have the thinking afforded to us. For many things, we don't have to think. The heart beating. You don't have to think. It beats. You are digesting. You don't have to think, okay, let me start digesting now. But what time to go to sleep, what to eat. You see, the digestion will take place automatically, no thinking. But what to eat, I have to think. And by thinking, when I see cause A is connected to result B. If I see cause A is connected to result B, and I see clearly, then I will know, okay, do I want this result or not? And if I don't want this result, then I don't encourage cause A. If I want this result, then I encourage cause A. So in other words, by a lot of thinking, a lot of analysis, a lot of, what we call observation and all that, which is all part of thinking, when I do that, I can make proper decision. No, okay, I don't want this to happen. Therefore, I should not do that. I should desist from doing that. Because I realize that is the cause of this and I don't want this. So, figuring out the problem and thinking really can get rid of a lot of afflictions and problems in our life. This thinking. The human beings don't do a lot of thinking. That's our problem. So now, Bhagavan continues with this Maya, and too much of is still there, and the same one topic. See this. In other words, we have to think about Maya quite a bit. That is the idea, because Maya is the problem. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. 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 गो गोचर जहाँ लगी मन जाई। सो सब माया जाने हुआई। तेई भेद सुनहु तुम सो। तेई कर भेद सुनहु तुम सो। विद्या पर अभिज्ञा दो। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। गोगो चर जहां लगी मन जाई सो सब माया जाने हो भाई। Hey भैया, you understand it. Wherever your senses can reach, wherever perception and thinking and all our faculty, wherever they can reach, all of it is Maya. That is the idea. In other words, as long as there is a me with senses and mind, antakarana and all, and there is perception, Maya is at work, because there has to be a perceiver and that which is perceived. So there's a duality. So as long as there's a duality and my senses can perceive this and perceive that, this is the first point. Perceive this, perceive that, then Maya is at work. Because the Maya is that which appears to fragment the reality into two things. Perceiver and perceived. Or multifarious things, whichever way you want to look at it. Right? That's the first thing. And therefore, the product is a variegated universe. What is called a vibhakta universe. Which Bhagavad Gita calls vibhakta, means a universe which is fragmented, divided and appears to be split up like that. So, this Maya is responsible for the appearance of this great big diversity which we experience in front of us. So, As long as there is a perceiver and the perceived there is Maya, and second point is, it is the Maya which is responsible for the apparent fragmentation. And it's like, when you take a prism and you pass light through it. So now on this side you have a ray of white light. And there's a prism in the middle. On this side you pass a ray of white light. So here there is one unified white light. When it comes out on this side, fragmented. 7 colors. You see? So on this side, you look at white light, you can't see 7 colors and all that kind of thing, isn't it? One undivided white light. And so Maya is that prism. Maya is the inherent power in the undivided reality to appear divided. And now, where does this variety end? He said, no end. That is hinted in this. Go chara jaha lagi mana jai. Means wherever this mind can go. Now, does your mind have any limits? No, we can go on thinking. We can go on thinking from here to, your mind can go from here to Australia in just no time. And then it can go to Atlas. I don't know where is Atlas, but some exoplanet. Your mind can go from here to Atlas. Now see, if you send a probe to Atlas, exoplanet, nearest exoplanet or whatever is there, right? You send a probe, it has to go 3 trillion light years or something. How long it will take? You have to come back in next Janma to know if it has reached or not. But your mind can just go in a flash. You see? So wherever the mind can go, so far is this great variety of universe with all sorts of things, Nama Rupa, and it is all the product of Maya. Go chara jaha lagi mana jai, so sab Maya jani huai. You understand that to be Maya. Wherever the mind can go in its limitless flights across limitless universe, all of it is Nama Rupa, only Maya. Tehi kar bheda sunahu tum so. This Maya has 2 aspects, or there are 2 types of Maya. Listen to this. 2 types of Maya, he tells. And it is very, very instructional. Why? Because usually when people use the word Maya, it has a negative connotation. But that is not the proper thing. Maya should not have a negative connotation. I see, if Maya is an inherent power of the reality, think about how great Maya is. The inherent power of Brahman. How great Maya is. You see? So he said, now this inherent power causes this Brahman to fragment itself into the pairs of opposites. Pairs of opposites. And that's how it started in the beginning. Main or tum. Like that. Me and you. But here now it takes this thing further. This Maya is of 2 types. One type is called as Vidya Maya. Vidya. Apara means the other. Avidya Maya. Do. One is Vidya Maya and the other is called as Avidya Maya. Meaning what? That the Maya itself contains both Vidya and Avidya. Just like light and darkness. And one is always an antithesis to the other. Light is an antithesis to, antithetical to darkness, you see. You just scratch one match in this dark room and all the darkness goes away, isn't it? So also now there is, in this Maya, the reality has fragmented itself into both Vidya and Avidya. This is the idea. So, it's like this. Let me just give you an example. See, when you are in dreaming, right, and a tiger chases you, and you run, and you scream, and then the tiger pounces on you, then what happened? When the tiger pounces on you, you wake up, correct? You wake up. Then, how you woke up? By something in the dream itself. Because tiger was not on your bed. Where was the tiger? The tiger was in the dream. It was a dream tiger. So there was dream fear and dream running and dream you and dream tiger. And something in the dream itself woke you up, isn't it? When you're having a nightmare. When I was a kid, I used to think a nightmare is a horse that comes in the night. That's not a nightmare. People used to talk about nightmare. Nightmare means that some dream which scares you. So something in the dream itself wakes. In the very same way. Now here comes to this world. In this world, there is this Maya, which has fragmented the world into all the diversity. And among the diversity, things fall into pairs of opposites. Things fall into pairs of opposites like that. So here in this Maya Prapancha, we call it, this Maya Prapancha has Vidya and Avidya. Both. Now, it so happened that this Jiva, he likes Avidya. Amazing thing. He likes ignorance is bliss. Have you heard? Where ignorance is bliss, 'tis folly to be wise. Ignorance is bliss for many people. So that ignorance can be removed by knowledge. And luckily the Maya has divided, the reality has bifurcated itself into both knowledge and ignorance. If it had only appeared as ignorance, then there would have been no knowledge to remove that ignorance. Then we would have been in real trouble. But there is both knowledge and ignorance. So it's a Vidya Maya and Avidya Maya. Then now next verse, see that. Between this Vidya Maya and Avidya Maya. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. एक दुष्ट अति सय दुख रूपा जा बस जीव पराभव कूपा एक रचई जग गुण बस जाके प्रभु प्रेरित नहीं निज बलता के श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। एक दुष्ट, so one part, see the same reality now bifurcated itself by its own inherent power into two types of Maya. One is called as Vidya Maya, one is called as Avidya Maya. And the second one is dealt with first now. What? Ek dushta atisaya dukha rupa. One of this Maya is, one part of this Maya now, which is called Avidya Maya. It is dushta. It means it is that which brings dukkha. It brings a sorrow. You know, in many of our traditional old Hindi films, all the Bollywood films used to have nice songs long ago. Nowadays there's a lot of noise and less song, but long ago nice songs used to be there. So in one of these songs I remember, which is very popular here in Trinidad also, it says, "Do rang duniya ke aur do raaste." In this dunya, in this world, do rang hai. Two colors are there, literally colors. Do rang means two types of things. You have two choices. Do rasate, two paths. Huh? So that is what is the same sort of thing which is going on here now. There is Vidya Maya and Avidya Maya. And Avidya Maya is dealt with first now, because I see everything that is causing trouble for the jiva, that is dealt with first. Avidya Maya means the jiva chooses Avidya Maya, he chooses ignorance over knowledge. The jiva chooses all what we call, see, you know that all the bad things are easy. Nah, the good things are difficult, so he always chooses the easy thing. Look here, to get a degree is difficult or easy? Difficult. But to remain ignorant is easy. To study Gita is difficult. To remain ignorant of Gita is easy. So he chooses the easy thing. Everything he likes is easy. Alasya nidra bhi. By alasya nidra is bound. Laziness and sleep. So the jiva always chooses that thing which is easier, which is going to lead to him to more trouble rather than to give him mukti. So here, eka dushta atisaya dukha rupa ja basa jiva parabhava kupa. This is a very strong line. It is this avidya maya which the jiva chooses, and the jiva falls into bhavakupa. And Tulsidas uses bhavakupa from Bhagavatam. Bhavakupa, usually the word is bhavasagar, isn't it? Bhavasagar, the ocean of mundane existence. The ocean of samsar, right? Bhavasagar. But Tulsidas was, of course, a great scholar of all scriptures of India, you know that. And so, he doesn't choose that word bhavasagar, he uses it very, very rarely. He says bhavakupa. It is called the well of samsara. It's like a well. Kupa means a well. In India, here in Trinidad, we don't have well. But in India, a lot of wells. Because India is well. Or maybe we are well. Something. But we don't have wells here. Because the water table in Trinidad is very high. So we don't need wells. So, this well, this big well, if a person falls in there, think na. If a person falls down in there, can that person ever come out? No chance. If you have ever seen one of those wells, you will know. If a person falls in the ocean and he gets a favorable tide or a wave or a passing boatman or something, or if he could swim, if he could swim, he'll come out. But if he falls in a well, swimming will not help. In that well, he needs somebody on the top with bucket and rope, or at least rope. Isn't it? Then only he'll be able to come out. Somebody has to be there. A rope has to be there. So, the Bhavasagar word is not chosen because in this tradition, we need a guru. That's why Bhavakupa. This Bhava is like a kupa, like a well. And if somebody has to be there to pull us out. But Tulsidas himself writes in the Balkan about Guru. See, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram. गुरु बिनु भवनिधि तरई न कोई, जो बिरंची संकर सम होई, श्री राम जय राम। गुरु बिनु भव निधि तरई न कोई, जो बिरंची संकर सम होई। राम राम सीता राम 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 बोलो। बोलो राम 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 सीता राम 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 बोलो। श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। Guru binu bhavaniti tarai na koi. Nobody can cross over this ocean of samsara without a guru. Jau bhi ranchi sankar sam hoi. Even if the person be the like of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, doesn't matter. He cannot cross over this because all of them, when they have come to this, Bhagavan Shri Krishna had guru, Bhagavan Ram had guru. Bhagavan Shiva's guru is Ram. Like that. Like everybody has guru. So, for that reason, Bhavakupa a word is used. Bhavakupa means the well of samsara. Because when one falls in a well, we need that person on the top to pull us out. Otherwise, we cannot come out. So, this is one type of Maya. The type of Maya which is Dushta, which makes the person Dushta means Dosha Yukta. That part of Maya, which is Dosha Yukta, means that which causes, that which is attended with all defects. So, if that thing has a defect and I latch on to that, then what will happen? I'll get in trouble. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dosha Anudarshanam. I should see the defect in Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, and Dukkha, all of these things called Dukkha only. So I should see their defect and then don't latch on to them. Birth, death, disease, old age. In other words, I should not ever strive to come back in this world. I should live in such a way that I gain mukti. Learn to see the defects in things. So that is the one part of Maya, and unfortunately, the jiva latches on to that part of Maya. You know that. So instead of healthy food, he eats unhealthy food. Instead of healthy habits, unhealthy habits. You know that. Instead of healthy literature and good movies, and he looks at all the other things. Instead of some song that will feed the soul, he listens to some songs today, and the song, everything is getting worse and worse. So that part of Maya, he latches on to that only. Instead of engaging in some peaceful activity. Bhagavan says, na, Yukta Hara Viharasya. Yukta in Ahar and Vihar. So instead of being moderate and all of this in my Vihar, I go on extremes. That is the part of Maya which he holds on to. You see, Eka Dushta Atisaya Dukha Rupa brings so much sorrow. Jabasa Jiva Parabhava Kupa, and causes the jiva to stay in this round of samsara, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, never coming out. And the other part of this Maya, Eka Rachai Jaga Guna Basa Jake, Prabhu Prerita, Nahi Nija Balatake, means the other part of Maya is that part of Maya which is called as Vidya Maya. That, of course, is the opposite to this type of Maya now, opposite to Avidya Maya. What? It is that part of the Maya which can now take me out of this sansara. So in the same Maya, where all these dosha yukta vastu is there, Right? All these things with defects. In that same Maya, there are gurus, there are sampradayas, traditions, there are scriptures, there is philosophical teaching, there is meditation, yoga, there is so many other things. In that same Maya, and product of the same Maya. Correct or not? You have, there's, look here, in this world, there is terrorist organization. People organized to carry out terrorist acts, to kill other people. And in this same world, there is Chinmaya mission. Correct or not? Both products of Maya. Both are the products of Maya. So one is the product of Vidya Maya, and one is the product of Avidya Maya. You see? And he says this Vidya Maya is what is utilized by Bhagwan for manifesting this universe. Ek rachai jaga guna basakya. Bhagwan controlling the three gunas of this Maya. This is one aspect of Maya I did not speak to you about. This is in Bhagavad Gita, Trigunatmika Maya. Bhagwan speaks about in 7th chapter. So here he mentions Bhagwan controlling these three gunas of Maya, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, manifests this whole universe. That he's using there, that Vidya Maya. Prabhu prayed it. This Maya is directed and inspired only by Bhagwan. Or inspires one towards Bhagwan also, if you want to look like that. If you want to say it like that. Prabhu prayed, nahi nija balatake, and doesn't have its own strength. So Vidya Maya, Avidya Maya, two types of Maya. And you can understand this very simply. In the same manifested universe, which is manifested by Maya, there are things in the manifestation which will take me on the wrong path and take me to dukkha. And that same manifested universe, there are things which will take me on the right path and take me to mukti. That is the idea. Here dukkha and bandhan, here mukti and sukha. Same in the same Maya. And do you know, Bhagwan Maya is Ati Vichitra. Ati Vichitra means it is supremely amazing. The same object sometimes contains both. It is just how we use the object. See, a knife can be used as a kitchen appliance, or a knife can be used as a weapon. Correct or not? Well, all things. A person can use Gita as a walking stick to walk the path of life. A person can use Gita as a stick to beat somebody also. To show the other person that I know more than him. Huh? Atmanah Shlagaram, it will come just now, I'll tell you about it. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says. So I know Gita, you don't. So I use Gita and knowledge Gita to knock you on the head. You see? So the two types of Maya usually sometimes packed in the same thing. Alright, so this is about Maya. Now, what was Lakshmana's first question? Kahu Gyan, Birag, Aru Maya, Kahu Bhagati, Jaha, Jehi, Lagi Tum Daya. But I can get your Daya, like that. So, Gyan was the first. Now Bhagwan comes to Gyan. What is this Gyan? Interestingly, see. I told you half a chopai. 2 padas only. Finishes Gyan. Because all the time what we were talking about? Maya. And if you figure out the Maya, then you are getting, that means automatically you've gotten Gyan. If you figure out the Maya. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. ज्ञान मान जह एक नाही, देख ब्रह्म समान सब माई। श्री राम जय राम। ज्ञान मान जह एक नाई, देख ब्रह्म समान सब माई। श्री राम जय। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। जय राम जय जय राम। श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। ज्ञान मान जह एक नाही। Gyan is where there is no man. Gyan is where there is no man. And what is ekaunahi? What is the ekaunahi thing? This is connected directly to about 3 or 4 verses from the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Let me tell you what happens in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. There, Bhagavan starts this 13th chapter by making a distinction between Kshetra and Kshetrajna, the field and the knower of the field. He starts off like this. And then he says, I am really the knower in all fields. The body is the field, and inside the body there is a knower of the body, like that, right? But Bhagavan says that he is the knower in all bodies. So he makes a oneness between Jiva and Ishvara. But soon after that, he gives a series of verses, maybe about 4 verses, with about 18 or 20 qualities, depending on how you count. Some people like to count differently and all, you know that. So, depending on how you count, there are 18 qualities, some people say, some say 20. Well, every time I count, because maybe I learn to count differently, I get 20. But most people get 18 qualities. Amanitvamadambhitvam ahimsa kshanti rarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthairyamaatma vinigraha indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha, like that. You go and look, you will see it comes there. So 18 or 20 qualities are there in that thing. So what is the first one? Amanitvamadambhitvam. Amanitvam. Amanitvam. Manitvam and amanitvam. And that manitvam, which is spoken about there, is this man which is here. So where there is no man, so, and how this is connected? When Bhagavan finishes there, listing all the 18, 20 qualities, when he finishes, he says, this is Gyan. This was Lakshmana's question. Is all these qualities are Gyan. Why? Because these qualities lead to Gyan. So, once I imbibe and inculcate all of these qualities, then certainly I will get Gyan. And what is that Gyan? Say, Deka Brahma Samana Samamahi. I will be able to see the one Brahman existing equally. You see? So, this where man and not even one of the other qualities, that is why Ekaunahi. One of the other 18 which is given there in this Bhagavad Gita. Not man is not there, and none of the others. Himsa. All those qualities, there should be ahimsa in my heart. Non-injury to beings and things, you see. Shaucham, cleanliness. Acharyopasanam, sthairyam. Settledness of the mind. A firmness of the mind. So you will have to, now this is a Ramayana lecture. I cannot go there to do all these 5-6 verses now. You see, so you will have to do that your homework. You go in the 13th chapter and see from maybe 7 or 8 verse around there. You see Bhagavan says amanitvamadambhitvam, like that. Those are the all qualities called as Gyan. Bhagavan himself calls them as Gyan. So when Lakshmana asked what is Gyan, he said those are the qualities, it's Gyan. Where there is no man. So one is given here. So what is man? Bhagwan Bhashakar Shankaracharya, there when he says, what is this man? He says, Atmanah Shlaganam. What is that? Showing off. Vainness. Showing off. It means to say, boasting. Boasting. That. Boasting also is to boast. I do this, I did that, I know this, I know that, I am this, I am that, all that. They called boasting. So where there is no man, that is called as Gyan. And where there is any of the other quality, things should not be there. So there what is given? The negative of the qualities. Here, man nahi. So there, amana. See, man nahi is the word here. No man. So there, amana. Same meaning. So now, when the person develops all of these qualities which are given there in that 13th chapter to see, then amanitvam, adambitvam is the next quality. Go and study them nicely, and Bhagavan Shankaracharya has given nice commentary. Adambitvam is what he tells. Adambitvam means swadharma prakatikaranam. I may be. Dambha means pretentiousness. And that also, I do something good also, but still I have to show off. Like that. That's what my good qualities. What about your bad qualities? No, I hide them. Show off all my good qualities, like that. So, Swadharma Prakatikaranam there for Dambha. Like that, study all of them. And when those qualities are imbibed, good qualities, he says that is called Gyan. That is the meaning. Then, second meaning of this Gyan now, he gives it two. Deka Brahma Samana Savamahi. Gyan means the ability, the capability of seeing one Brahman existing equally in all things in the universe. That is what we were talking about in the beginning, isn't it? That I told that there is one reality which underlies every single thing in the universe. One existence, one Sat. Right? And that existence is what has taken on all of these names and forms. That existence is called a Brahman. So, Deka Brahma Samana Savamahi. Seeing that one Brahman in all things. You see, because in understanding what is Maya, all of these things have to be understood before. That is why Gyan now only takes two padas, half a chopai. When we were trying to understand Maya, see, there's one reality, and that reality has an inherent power to appear fragmented. If we don't understand that one reality there, we will not understand what Maya does or the function of Maya and all of that. So in studying Maya, Jnana is already studied there. Therefore, only half a chopai. There, Bhagavan writes about this in 5th chapter, very famous verse, see, chapter 5 of Gita. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Vidya Vinaya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini. Shuni chaiva shvapakeshu Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Pandita Samadarshinaha. The Pandit is the one who is able to see equally existing, a wise person is one who is able to see equally existing Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane, in a learned Brahmana, Gavi, in a cow, Hastini, in an elephant, Shuni Chaiva, Shvapakich, and a dog, in a dog eater. So, seeing that one Brahman existing equally in all things, that person is called, he is called a Jnanavan. He has Jnana. So, Jnana, Dekh Brahma Samana Savamahi, to be able to see Brahman existing equally in all things in the universe. That person is said to, that is called as Jnana, seeing the oneness. We'll dwell on this a little bit more tomorrow. Okay, seeing the oneness is a big topic. This is pure Vedanta. Then, next, after Vairagya, Lakshmana asks, what is Bhakti? But Bhagavan leaves Bhakti for last. Bhagavan left Bhakti for last, so we have to leave it for last also. So we'll see that last. Tomorrow we'll continue with this Gyan. Okay. Now we'll have announcements and then we'll close.